on the broader level, I think, you had the colonial system, which had, the three levels of society. So you had the Muzungu at the top, you had the Asian in between, and then you had the sort of the local African,
Native.
the native, I don't know what you want to call them, at the bottom. And then, the British used the Asians very heavily as administrators. And, they used them to build the railway. They used them as clerks, so the administration was largely from the Indians. So they were the administrative class, and then they helped administer the rest of the Africans. So that's what it was like, for a large part of the colonial time. But at the same time, you had Asians who were advocating for change.
That's right.
For the Africans and also for themselves.
Yeah.
So you have a lot of, this is when you get, a lot of the famous people kind of advocating for African rights and Asian rights. Some of them were, they wanted the Asian rights exclusively, but a lot of them were advocating for, rights all round. So I think that's the golden era in terms of, the Asian participation. And when we look at Asian history in this country, the history books look at that time when you had people like the Desais, people like the Kapilas who defended Kenyatta, those kind, J.M. Nazareth. Those are people who were active, the Pierre Gama Pintos. Those are the people who were very active in trying to bring about change. And they played a big role in bringing about change, in Kenya. One of the main guys was Pierre Gama Pinto, who was a Goan MP. And he was the first MP who was assassinated in independent Kenya, and he was killed here just in Westlands. And now I think finally there's a road, the Pio Gama Pinto Road, just near Sarit Centre, which I think is where his house was. But he was the first politician to be assassinated in independent Kenya.